I was going to answer the question at first blush. I'll answer it two different ways. At first, I thought they were saying our child is going to be 3 and is going to go to a special education class, and we've decided that we don't want him or her to. And I was going to remind the readers that education isn't compulsory until you're 5 years old. So if you never opted into the public school, for a 3-year-old, you wouldn't even have to file any kind of plan with the state saying you had a private school, homeschool, whatever. You don't have to put your child in any kind of special education or in school until age 5. But in this situation, the family has already opted into special education. And so the question that isn't being answered here is, are they opting out because they found something that presumably they think is better? That's not hard to imagine. Sounds as if they've discovered that they have intensive ABA available and they want to implement that because they know it's a best practice as opposed to a district special ed class that isn't based on any kind of scientifically validated principles and certainly would not include outcome data for its students. So assuming that is a situation, if you don't want anything back from the school district, I believe you would just write them a polite letter and say that for now, you're going to no longer be participating in special education in that school, that you're going to be doing a private program, but that you'll remain in the district, and you expect him to be able to come back in kindergarten without any further paperwork, accepting maybe an IEP at that time. Now, they can't force you they cannot force you to stay in a special education program. You have a right to have your child become a privately placed student and to have no issues with the school regarding attendance or truancy or anything. My bet would be, though, if student is 3 and district isn't going to see him again till 5, when district sees him again, they're going to want to reassess him for eligibility. I would think that's extremely likely.
Yeah, I would hope they would want to reassess him after not seeing him.
If they had fabulous data from the private agency and it was a redundant, unnecessary assessment, they're going to assess anyway.
Yeah.
But, the real problem is parents go off to center-based ABA programs, child does really well, and then it's time for kindergarten. Uh-oh, what are we going to do? But that, you cross that bridge when you get to kindergarten.
Yes. Now, Bonnie, she wants to know, though, if she takes him to the center, and I happen to have spoken to this mom, so you're right on the money that that she's wanting to send him to center-based because of knowing how much more effective it is. But the question remains, is there a way, when you've already got the IEP, and if you opt out for a whole huge portion of it, but you still want to get the speech and OT services, can you do that?
Okay, so that would all be sort of something that she would have to negotiate with the district.
Okay.
It would be up to the district to say yes or no. But the thing is that equates to essentially saying, I consented fully to my IEP and now I want to only partially consent. Districts tend to have a problem with that. And the law in California is you can consent to only the parts of the IEP that you want to implement or have implemented. And if the district agrees, fine, it can acquiesce. But if it disagrees, it has to file for hearing and get an order that you have to participate in all the services. That's not something I've seen happen, but in theory it could happen. The other thing I forgot to say is if she's opting out because she thinks the district program is inappropriate, and she wants the district to pay for her outside ABA program, there's a whole other subject area that we can cover in the future about how you unilaterally, privately place a student and set it up so that you can sue the district for reimbursement. But her question doesn't say whether she wants them to pay for the private ABA program or not. So the answer is she may be able to keep her speech and OT, she may not. It might be that the district is fine and they want to retain some contact and ability to follow the student, and it may be that they say no. And you just have to cross that bridge when you come to it.
But a nice letter sent off to them.
It's not always true in special ed that you get more flies with honey than vinegar. Sometimes you get more flies with a sledgehammer, but you put a little velvet case on it so it looks nice. But in this case, I think, yeah, she should write a polite letter saying, thank you for everything you've done for our son or daughter. I wouldn't say, I think your program's great if you don't think that. I would say, we've done our own research and we think this is in, Joe's best interest to do this program at this time. We want to keep in touch with you. We'd love to continue to bring them to you for speech and language services. Please contact me at your earliest opportunity to let me know how we can proceed.